You're going to start this flow by reaching up high to the ceiling and then exhaling and rolling down one vertebrae at a time. You're then going to go from plank into downward facing dog 3 times, making sure you engage your abdominals the whole time. Lift one leg up and then bring it forward. Use your left elbow to press out into your left knee so that you're stretching that left groin. Then you're going to take that left elbow, touch it down to the ground or get as close as possible to the ground and reach your left arm up towards the ceiling to get some thoracic spine rotation. The harder you push down into the floor with the other arm, the better rotation you'll get. Then you're going to take your left arm and block the outside of the left knee so that you can drop your right hip down to the floor 6 times to stretch the front of your hip or your hip flexors. Then press back into downward dog, lift the opposite leg up towards the ceiling, and then do the same exact thing, bringing your right leg forward into that lunge and repeating the same stretch as we just did on the other side. You're doing 6 repetitions, give or take, of each. So here I am rotating up towards the ceiling again, pressing down into that left arm so I can get good thoracic rotation up on the right, then dropping the left hip down to get the stretch in the front of the hip, just like we did earlier. Then press back into downward facing dog again, lift that left leg forward again. You're going to go into warrior 1 basically from yoga, and then you're going to turn and go into a Cossack squat or a lateral lunge. So you're pivoting off the front leg. You're reaching up towards the ceiling to elongate your spine on the warrior 1 or sun salutation portion. And then you're going to sit back into that Cossack squat or lateral lunge, getting the left inner thigh to stretch. This is also a pretty good workout on your legs. And if you're not used to doing lunges, they might make you sore. Then you're going to press back into downward dog again, lift the right leg up, reach up to the ceiling, squeeze your left butt cheek, then drop into that Cossack squat lateral lunge. That left butt cheek is squeezing pretty tight so that you can get a good stretch in the front of the left hip. And you're going back and forth. Now the right groin or right inner thigh is going to be stretching as you drop into that lateral lunge. Take note if you feel a difference between one side or the other. And only go as low as you feel comfortable, making sure you don't have any pain anywhere or in your knees. Then you're going to separate your feet a little bit and press back so that you get a nice hamstring stretch. And then you're going to put one hand on the floor and then rotate up to the ceiling. And as you do this, you should feel your inner thighs stretch as well as the hamstrings, the back of your thighs. Drop down onto your hands and knees, and you're going to do cat-cow, but you're going to pull your hands towards your knees and your knees towards your hands to really engage your core. And I want you to exhale as you round your lower back from the pelvis, and then extend your lower back from your pelvis as well. Then from here, you're going to take your left leg and bring it back so that now you're in a bridge position, and you're going to lift your hips up 6 times. Feel free to leave that left arm down if you want, but it's nice to actually reach up towards the ceiling to elongate a little bit more. And then you're going to go ahead and switch over. If this bothers your shoulder, feel free to leave it out, but it's a nice way to activate the shoulder and move your hips into extension. Then we're going to go right into what's called Mermaid in Pilates, or you can go into Pigeon, or this is also called 90-90. And you're going to make sure your spine is nice and elongated, and you're going to lengthen forward over the front hip to stretch the glutes and the hip rotators. From here, you're going to go into a kneeling position and stretch the first ray or the big toe into extension. We talked about this in the running class, about how important big toe extension is for running, but also for walking up hills. You're going to get your feet together and sit back as far as you can on the big toe, and then also flip it around so you stretch the front part of your shin. Then you're going to press back into a forward bend position and then drop down into a squat as low as you can, avoiding that butt wink. And you're going to pry your knees open side to side. Think of lifting your chest up tall, neck in good alignment. Drop down into a forward bend and then down back into a squat. And then exhale and slowly roll yourself back up, lengthening your spine along the way.